Hello, my name is Nikema Prophet. I am the host of the Our Voices podcast, and I'm here today with Toby. Toby is our second ever guest on the podcast, and he's here to talk about putting yourself out there as a newbie in tech in Nigeria, I think. But I will let him get into the details of this story. But first, would you like to introduce yourself, Toby?
Yeah, definitely for sure. Hello, listeners, and hello, Nikima. Yeah, I'm Tobiloba, and I'm a software engineer, and um, yeah, an open source maintainer and accessibility advocate. So I started my tech journey as at last year, which was around March 2022. I went to a boot camp 3 months, and yeah, that was basically my journey to tech. And yeah, this March would make it pretty much 1 year that I've been in tech.
Congratulations. 1 year. So do you want to jump right in and then start? So the basic idea behind the podcast was I want people to come in from the community and tell me stories. And when I say tell me a story, I mean tell me about yourself or tell me what you're working on or tell me it could be anything. I just wanted to have some longer conversations with people from the tech community, especially folks that I met on Twitter and Twitter Spaces. So
Mm-hmm.
I have like some idea of what you're going to talk about, but if you're ready,
Mm-hmm.
you can like go right into that now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I basically want to talk about yeah, putting yourself out there and getting to like how learning in public can basically help you as a beginner in the Nigerian tech space. So the Nigerian tech space is basically I mean it's very different here as compared to places like maybe in the US or the UK. Because in Nigeria we have like a lot of factors basically. I'm currently a second year student in the University of Lagos. I studied computer science. So yeah, and getting into tech, even though I was a computer science student, wasn't so straightforward for me, because I had to deal with stuff like the conditions here, because the electricity here is not stable. We don't like data is sort of like at the higher on the higher side, like getting internet is on the higher side, and those are things you have to struggle with. But me I as a person, one of the things that made me lucky was I had people. So I had my parents and stuff like that that helped me basically sponsor things like this and pay for them, which is something that everyone doesn't have access to. So yeah, so getting started in tech and like me learning in public, how that did help me. So I came onto Twitter around like July 2022. So that was when I actually June, July, that was when I became very active after my 3 months boot camp. Like, okay, yeah, let me check out what the landscape is here. Because I saw my friend that was using LinkedIn for like his 100 days of code. So I was like, okay, let me check out Twitter and see what it's like. So I started using Twitter to like log my 100 days of code and basically log my progress. So I already knew like React then. So I was like, because from the bootcamp we taught React and we built projects. So I already knew I already had like some experience working with this stuff. I was not a complete beginner, but I still did the hundreds of code just to basically challenge myself and like put myself out there. So I was doing that. I was joining Twitter spaces, networking online, looking for and that was when I found you, Sean, like amazing people like that, from Sean spaces basically. So yeah, so then I started using those platforms to like network with people, and then I found several other communities online like Eddie Hub, Francesco's community, and I joined communities like that. I became very active on there, and yeah, did really cool stuff. So all these things are like because people see me now, and like and most Nigerians that I've met, because I'm on campus, a lot of people recognize me and be like, oh, is that Toby? Are you Toby? I'm like, yeah, nice to meet you, nice to meet you. But I actually did all these things in the background, like before I even became came to like all these before I got all of this like becoming popular to some extent. It wasn't really it wasn't really something that came overnight. It was something I actually did intentionally. So I put myself out there intentionally. I wasn't like okay, I'm not chasing the popularity or anything. So I was actually looking to connect with people, with as much people I could connect with. So yeah, that was the idea for me. So I get some opportunities now based on the fact that I know some people that know other people and stuff like that. So things coming from to me as in some ways because I know some people and they can bend the rules from on my behalf. So yeah, so as a Nigerian techie, I would always advise that when starting out, like don't just learn in your room and shut yourself out, even if all the odds are against you. Try to put yourself out there and like be like, okay, network with people, join spaces, reach out to people on Twitter, go to LinkedIn, connect. So yeah, that's my idea, and yeah, I found open source too, which was really massive in my journey, and yeah, I will maintain open source projects now. So yeah, so
Okay.
it's really a great thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You gave me some, like, I have some questions now. So, when you say it
Mm-hmm.
was intentional for you to put yourself out there, like before, like the popularity came, like you were doing things. First, I want to ask, like in your personality, does that come naturally to you, or is it something that's a challenge to like put yourself out there and meet new people?
Yeah, I tell people this a lot, but naturally I am an introvert. I Most people probably don't know this because they see me online a lot and like
Mm-hmm.
tweeting and commenting and joining live streams. I actually am an introvert. But what makes my kind of introvert different is that because I used to do business with my dad a lot. So like way before I even started like tech full time. So I used to do business with my dad and he used to do some like importation stuff. So I was the one that would help him go online on these platforms, reach out to Chinese people because we work with Chinese people a lot. So I would like reach out to them, like text them. I've helped him import billboards before and several things that we was just through online conversations and like reaching to several dealers and like, okay, how much are you going with this for? We are looking for this product. So when it comes to online like networking and like finding like having conversations online, I'm very good with that. But like physical conversation, I might not be so good. I'm still working on that. But like to some extent, I would say I'm improving because I'm still. It's a challenge to have like physical conversation with people. When it's online, it's very straightforward for me and like easier for me to network with people online. But I'm very sure like that it's must be a challenge for a lot of people. But I'm very used to like online networking and reaching out to people, connecting, and then eventually building strong connections basically. So it's something that it's not something everyone can get so quickly. But because of my own past experience, it was easier for me to use platforms like Twitter to find people online. Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that might be the case. I can 100% relate because before Twitter Spaces, I was very comfortable in text, like texting people, DMs or like
Mm-hmm.
even just on the timeline, adding them. Um, but Spaces is like another level of, oh, this is harder. It's harder to like be
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
there and use my voice and like meet new people. And in person is
Yeah.
like yet another level of harder to like meet people and
Yeah.
connect. But it's worth it. It's so worth
Mm-hmm.
it. And as
Mm-hmm.
you see,
Mm-hmm.
slowly but surely, when you're authentic and you're genuinely building relationships with people, you will, like, your people start to find you, like kind of start to flock
Mm-hmm.
together. So I think I
Yeah.
relate
Yeah.
so much to that. I wanted also to ask you, because we stopped on, you mentioned open
Yeah.
source. So yeah, tell us more about what you do in open source.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, so for open source, what actually brought me to open source, funny enough, was Swags. Because with open source, I found out like around September or was it August? I found out there was like this cool event coming up during in October, this Oktoberfest as a last year. I was like, okay, Oktoberfest is coming in on 20 in October. So I was like, okay, I really want to participate in this challenge and win cool swags. So then I basically just when it came, I found Eddie up online because like Eddie was always like yeah, open source. It was like the open source personality on online. So I joined Eddie up. I learned a bit about like working with on GitHub. I actually didn't even know Git at all. I wasn't very proficient with Git. So I joined some. There was this There's this community called Open Source Community Africa, and they organized one workshop like that for Git, a 3-day workshop. So I basically joined as a last year. So I was very active on there. So I learned. basic Git, how to use Git basically. So I learned that from that workshop, very helpful workshop. So from there, then I came back and I was basically like just pushing my own projects randomly to GitHub. And even while during that workshop, there was a there was a simple open source project we were to contribute to, just file like that, and like then pushing it to the repo so that they'll merge it then to show on their website. So that was basically what we contributed to after the workshop. So yeah, from there I learned like some simple stuff, how to work with Git and GitHub. Then October 1st, I joined. It was another time I joined Forcy, and then when I joined Forcy, because we were looking for volunteers to help maintain the website, so I was like, sure, I would love to work on the website. And the website stack was like Next.js, Tailwind, yeah, Next.js, Tailwind, and yeah, there's not really any back end. So yeah, I just joined. I was like, okay, yeah, I'd love to work on the website. So they brought me on, and Oktoberfest came in. So I was a maintainer of them, and then the repo was actually an Oktoberfest registered repo. So I was just basically working on there, like people were raising issues. I was assigning them to issues, making my own contributions as well. Because as a maintainer, I was actually assigning myself to some issues to solve. So I was solving raising issues. Solving issues, raising issues as well. Also assigning people to issues, merging PRs. So I was really doing all of this work, and like this basically helped me to solidify, even further solidify my knowledge of Git and GitHub and open source. And as you can see, you probably know from my my Linktree profile, it's an open source project. The Linktree is an open source alternative to Linktree. So I basically use that, and I made open source an integral part of myself because I feel like it's something that everybody should do, and it has really helped me go a long way when it comes to my software development abilities. Yeah, so open source is something that I'm very, very passionate about, and it's something that has really helped me like level up so much. Most people don't even believe that I started anything related to front end when it comes to front end, because I've really taken my time to break that down and like explore it deeply. And open source was one of the things I used to help myself grow. Uh, yeah, my skills. Yeah, basically.
I just put the link free page up, and
Yeah, yeah, I
um
can see that.
it's really cool. Like I think I heard of it, but I thought it was just like a link tree. I didn't know it was this
No,
featureful with testimonials and all of this stuff.
yeah, it
But
is.
yeah, it's pretty
Yeah, it
cool.
is. Yeah, it is.
So I will add that again. And can you give I will link it in the show notes, but what is the URL for your link free page?
So
I
it
guess I
is
can
link
share it.
free. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So it is linkfree.eddyhub.io/Toby Solutions. And my Toby Solutions is camel case. So TOBY, then capital letter S solutions. So Toby, TOBY, like all lowercase, then capital letter S, then yeah, then for the solutions, yeah. OLUTIONS. So Toby Solutions camel case with a Y, Toby with a Y.
Okay. And actually I can
Linkfree.eddyhub.io
probably
slash.
let's see if I can put that on the screen too. I'm still getting used
Yeah,
to
because I'm having a hard time.
streaming. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Wait.
I
Is
okay,
that
okay, it
right?
shows.
Okay. So that's linkfree.eddyhub.io/Toby Solutions. And yeah, I will share the link wherever I post this episode. Okay, so we talked a little bit about open source, Hacktoberfest. Did you have anything else you wanted to say about your open source journey? Like, it was at this point that we ran into some technical difficulty. So the interview restarts right here. All right,
Yeah.
so I'll get back into it. Okay, so now that we've talked about open source, Toby,
Mhm.
how are you feeling about looking for work? Are you satisfied with the roles that you have now, or are you open to new opportunities? What's going on career wise for you?
Career wise, with my current occupations and what I do currently, I am not well. I would say I'm satisfied, but like I obviously don't get enough. I'm not getting enough for what I'm doing, and obviously my parents did sponsor me a lot, so I haven't been able to like give them like enough because I still collect from them till now, and it's not really cool. But I really want to be able to have enough to be able to sponsor my parents and like be able to repay them sort of everything they've done for me. And I'm looking for software engineering roles, and I have the skills basically. I use most of the tech stack, so and yeah, I'm very like I know most of my like basic languages, so if it even involves me learning a new language, it's very easy for me to transition. So I picked up Python recently, and I was like, I just in like 2 weeks or I think a month, I was already good with Python. Even learned the OP part of it. So I'm looking for software engineering roles currently, and good with the front end. I do back end at times too. Yeah.
Okay. So you're primarily a front
hmm
end engineer, but you can do back end also.
Yeah,
Or
yeah. I'm
okay.
primarily a front end engineer. Like I do back end. Yeah. Mhm. Awesome.
Okay. So I'm actually out of questions because I was just going to listen to you talk about getting yourself out there as a beginner. We talked about open source,
Yeah, yeah.
but is there, let's
hmm
see, like we could end the conversation now, or if you had questions for me, you could ask, or we could, I don't know, is there anything else that you want to talk about on like with your time here?
Oh yeah, I have questions. I have questions for you.
Wow.
Surprisingly, but my questions would be what was it like? I mean, I've read your story severally on like spaces and stuff, but I would still like to like understand like I mean we're face to face now. Like, what was your story like? I mean, what was it like? I mean, you talked about like you being having kids and stuff and like still getting into tech and being able to manage that with like your even with all the differences and stuff. But like, what was it like for you? And did you feel any sort of like were there points where you felt you couldn't do it and you wanted to give up? What was it like?
At this point, I went into a long story about my story, and I don't want the podcast to be about just me talking about myself. So I am taking that part out, and I will maybe put it out as a special episode part or something later. But I didn't want to take too much away from what Toby was saying. So I cut out the long story. And heads up, there's also in a few minutes, I had to overdub some of the audio. So there's a part where it's my voice, but it's different from the surrounding audio. So just heads up for that. It's going to sound a little weird. So yeah, that's that
Mm-hmm.
story.
That was really inspiring, and I've never heard that. I've never heard you at least talk about that all of these in depth as you have currently. But yeah, it was truly. I learned a lot. I must say I've really learned a lot from your story, and yeah, this set at least it has made me understand some things as to how to approach stuff. So yeah, thank you very much for sharing that, Nikima. Thank you. I appreciate
Well, thanks for asking, I guess. Like I
it.
said, I always like to talk about myself, and I had to get used to it, but now that I'm used to it, it's like, yeah, ask me about myself. But yeah, did you have anything else, or should we wrap this up?
Nothing really. I don't think anything else is left to say, but I would just say that as a Nigerian in the tech space, if you're just starting out and you've managed to struggle through acquiring your basic skills, I would just say network with people in the locality because there is a huge community of developers here in Nigeria. There are communities like the GDG. If you're a student like me, there's GDSC, there are GitHub campus experts. There are several people you can actually network with in the local developer community. And yeah, people that work remotely or people that have even been to internships at Google, Facebook, and stuff. So several people here to network with, and you might find some of them online because some of them are very active online. But some of them you have to go to tech events and uh, join communities to actually get to interact with people. So yeah, I think that will be my final and my wrap up statement, I guess, for this podcast. Yeah. Mhm.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, thank you, Toby, so much for
Mhm.
coming on. Like I said, you are the second guest ever. And
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
this is our second time recording video episodes, so this is very
Yeah.
special.
Yeah, yeah,
And it was good to learn more about you too.
yeah. Thank you, Nikima. Really honored to be here. I really wanted to be here, so yeah, I'm really happy I made it and made it work out. Really
Yeah, we
happy.
made it despite the technical difficulties. We did it. So
Despite that,
yes,
we did it. Yeah.
and I'm honored to have you here too. And I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I don't have an outro yet. I guess I should start
Hmm.
thinking about that. Oh yeah. Well, at least okay. Let's try one. I am Nikema Prophet. I just spoke with Toby at Toby Solutions on Twitter. Check him out. And this has been the Our Voices podcast. Thank you.